Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is The Spoken. I'm your host, Lance Twidwell. And today, obviously, if you haven't heard already, I want to let you know we have a very special guest today with us. Chiefs and NFL Hall of Fame superfan, Ty X Factor Rowton. Ty, welcome to the show.
Well, thanks for having me.
It's a real pleasure to have you, man. Obviously we've talked, in the past before, and we, wanted you to get on the show just to kind of expound upon some of the things that you've experienced as a Chiefs fan for the last 15, 20 years, as long as you've done this. I know there's a lot of fans that know who you are, but for the fans that don't or don't know you well enough, this is why we have you on the show. So if it's okay with you, I have a few questions for you, and we can go down the list, if that's all right with you.
Shoot away, just so you're not a Raiders fan, right?
We can't have that, right?
No.
Well, the first question I have for you, Ty, is, obviously, you've been to a lot of games, and how many games have you been to exactly?
I've been to 228 straight at Arrowhead, and I've been to 75 away games, every stadium except New York to see the Jets play, and Atlanta.
Okay, well, that's obviously a lot of teams and a lot of franchises you've seen and been a part of, so that's very impressive. Obviously, I've never met anybody that's done anything like that before. The first question that I have, though, is to take it from the very beginning of you becoming a Chiefs fan. What exactly got you interested to become a fan of the Chiefs? And then after that, what made you take that next step to become a super fan, a fan that is at every game, that is so dedicated and loyal to this franchise?
It's actually a really awesome story. I had no choice. You meet my dad, biggest Chiefs fan in the world. So I watched my first game with my dad in his lap at 3 months old. Obviously, I don't remember the outcome. But I never missed a game in my first 18 years without my dad, either on the radio, live at Arrowhead. He brought me, saw Arrowhead where there was like 19 fans there, and we could move down the field. If they got a first down, we could move a section over, which was rare. I never missed a game with him, and when I finally bought my season tickets was the first time I was away from my dad. And the fourth game of that year, I was watching Chiefs play Buffalo on the road, and I saw some guys that got on TV like 10 times. It was snowing, and they painted their body. So I was like, you know what? I can do that. And maybe I can have a connection with my dad where he sees me 7 hours away from me, he can see me on TV, and we can have that connection, because we would talk before the game and after the game, but that was back in the days of bag phones and
right.
limited minutes. So I was trying to do something, and the first time I painted my body half red, half yellow, wore a silly wig, everybody in my section then looked at me whenever I stood up and said, "Let's get loud." They looked at me at all times to be like the cheerleader, and so it just grew from there.
So basically, you ignited something inside Arrowhead Stadium that might not have been there exactly before.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I like hearing that from fans of any franchise, really, but especially with me being personally a Chiefs fan and being there my entire life, I know that people like you, people that are there every week, are an inspiration to certain people, certain young people that might want to get involved in something like that, to take it even a step further, to be taken out of trouble, getting off the streets or doing something, getting involved with something like that. And I know also you've mentioned charity that you do. If you want to go ahead and tell us what charity that is.
Yeah, I'm co-founder of an organization called KC Superfans. This organization is all us dress-up guys and a whole cast of other characters. We go out and do anything from school appearances to charity events to visiting sick kids at the hospital. We've raised, as an organization, well over a couple $100,000 directly off our projects, and then we've helped charities raise roughly about probably 35 to 40 million now. The figures are so staggering, I can't even keep track.
In fact, this is a lot of money.
Yeah,
right.
And it's basically what drives me today. Yeah, the game day experience is unbelievable, but it's why I dress up on a Saturday in May to come down here and talk to you, is because it's all the other stuff that I'm involved with.
Absolutely. Well, if you want to be a part of that charity, go ahead and look that up. We'll have that on the screen for you when the film comes out. But the second question I have for you, Ty, also is what is the best and worst experiences you've had at Arrowhead Stadium? And then also, what is the best and worst visits, like stadium visits you've had outside of Arrowhead Stadium, as far as like other teams, other arenas?
There's so many. All I remember is the good experiences at Arrowhead. I guess that's a lie because I do remember some bad ones. But ultimately, when you get inducted in the Pro Football Hall of Fame at the 50-yard line at halftime, with Priest Holmes' best friend, down on the sideline with the players, having your whole family there. There's nothing that tops that.
Right, absolutely.
And then there's moments, like Dante Hall when he finally called me up and said, "Can I be X Factor on the field?" The game before that, he was called the Human Joystick, was the Donkeys game when I'm sitting literally 20 feet away from him going, no, then go, and then, 2 nights later he's on Letterman saying, I'm X Factor.
Right, exactly.
The Seattle game, I believe in '97, when Derek Thomas is sitting in a lake out there, it rained 8 inches at Arrowhead, and then, back in those times I was actually Spider-Man, and the very first play coming out of that long hour break, Andre Rison catches like a 70-yard touchdown pass, and right before he caught the pass, he does the Spider-Man deal and then catches it and runs. Like I said, there are memories, and then literally I've got 80,000 different family members every week, and the experiences of tailgating games, the players, the owner, everybody out there that I've got the privilege to meet, the memories are just, I could sit here for probably 6 years telling you stories about the good memories.
Unfortunately, we don't have all that time, but
but the bad memories, obviously it's the playoff losses. The 13-3 years where I truly believed we were going to go on and win the Super Bowl, and either bad calls or just missed plays or whatever, I always left that stadium saying, we missed it.
Right.
We should have had it.
Right.
This was our time. Sorry, Royals. At that time, it was our time.
Right.
And so you got to go through the whole off season with that. Oh man, we were there, and it just didn't happen.
So what stadiums outside of Arrowhead did you say would be the best, like the most friendliest fan bases, and the ones that were the most hostile, or just the stadiums that weren't built very well, or you just didn't like the feeling you got there? I mean, obviously you're not going to like it because you're a fan of the opposing team that's visiting, but I'm talking about feeling like, this is about football. This isn't about like literally trying to cause harm to somebody. You know what I mean? Take that next step.
And I'm so privileged to have been inducted in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So I am good friends with all the super fans that have been inducted. So we kind of got a fraternity. We do charity work up in Canton, Ohio and stuff together every year. Granted, my schedule, I don't get to make it every year.
Right.
But whenever I go to a away game, they basically protect me. And when they come to Arrowhead, I protect them. So I don't experience, crazy bad stuff on the road, but honestly, the actual best stadium is second best to Arrowhead. It's Lambeau Field. Green Bay fans are just like Chiefs fans, and their shirt off their back, even though I wouldn't wear it, they would give it to me, and that's the way we are as Chiefs fans. And I have been to Oakland, and those guys said some pretty mean things to me.
You told me about them throwing batteries at you and things like that.
And stuff, but actually the worst experience is because I didn't have the super fan protection was at Denver. And Philly was kind of rough too at Pittsburgh, but I don't like those venues. And, everybody would think that it'd be Oakland, but where am I going this year? It's my big road trip. I'm going back to Oakland to sit in the black hole
and with
the guys.
Division rivals like that, I think that you could also have a certain respect for each other. I know that people say, well, they just hate. No, I think it's more of a respect knowing that you play each other twice a year. You might as well get to know each other a little bit, and I like hearing those kind of stories. The third question though I have though is what players throughout time as a Chiefs fan would you say was the most embraced in this region? You know, throughout your time, what would you say? And you know, just to expound upon that, like what player when you think of that, what would you say? What player would you think?
Well, the first one that comes to my heart is, because he's tattooed on my heart, is Mr. DT 58. You know, without that guy, you know, I'm not in the charity world. He introduced me to third and long, that kind of stuff, you know, how to be a super fan. And we're about to go to wrap, but let's come back and let's talk a little bit about DT and maybe a guy named Priest Holmes and some of those type guys.
I like your thinking, Si. Well, we'll be back with The Spoken with special guest Ty Rowton, X Factor. We'll see you guys in a minute.